everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Amy Katz Colors and I do adult coloring here on YouTube. In this video, I will be sharing my April completed pages. So April was a pretty good coloring month. I will share stats at the end. I had a week off at the beginning of the month for spring break. We had Easter and spring coloring. And I did a lot of color by number once again for the month. I also introduced a bunch of new books that I colored in. So let's just go ahead and get straight to it. This is the journal that I've been using to capture a couple notes to help remind me of what I'm going to be talking about here. So I'm going to flip to the page for April and then I'll get right into it with my first set of pages, which are like the regular adult coloring books. So the first one that I'm sharing with you today is in Rita Berman's compilation book of the seasons. Apologies for, I don't know if it's showing on camera. My hands are a little blue. Had my hair done about a week ago, but still kind of getting out some of that residual dye. It's deep blue, purples, and magenta. So some of the blues just still coming out and has stained my nail polish. So I've got to redo my nails today. But anyway, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. We should not apologizing for everything every day. So this one is a one color challenge from M Beans on both YouTube and Instagram for the month of April. The color, hold on here, because I didn't do a check on the video. Color is blue for the month of April, and I chose this page. It is definitely mixed media. It didn't come out exactly what I had envisioned, but people seem to like it, so I guess that's good. I'm glad it worked out, even though it wasn't what I had planned. I did distressed ink with makeup brush in the background, and that was about 3 different shades of blue. I think that's really kind of where I went took a different direction than what I had envisioned, because I wasn't planning on being this heavy-handed with the ink. I was just trying to do like a spray or a cloud of some color in the background, but it ended up being a lot. That's okay. It's still kind of like experimental for me at this point. But the bunny and the image itself was based in water-based marker. And then I went over top with Prismacolor pencil and a little bit of glitter gel pens. These would have been Jelly Roll, most likely. So there's another page completed in Rita Berman. It's actually only my second page completed in Rita Berman. The second page that I'm sharing, now I have to zoom out for this gorgeous book, Fairy Tales and Folklore coloring book from Emily Lita Hall Oberg. And this was for the not Facebook group, the Instagram group for Fairy Tales and Folklore coloring group, where a page is selected and colored every 2 months. So this one was for April. It is the bunny in the garden with some Easter eggs. So this one was based in Derwent ink tints, and it's probably the first time that I've ever done, maybe second time, I've done a full page using Derwent ink tints, and then I went over with Prismacolor pencil. The eggs are Jelly Roll glitter pen, a metallic pen. I really like how this turned out. I always love how purple and yellow go pretty good together. And it was really fun using the Derwent ink tints in this book. I think it looks really good. This is only the second page that I've completed in here. The other page I did also use, well, it wasn't Derwent ink tints, but I used watercolor with pencil over top. It also looks really good. I did do a little bit of the the Jelly Roll glaze black on the bunny's eyes. and also a little bit of green distress ink kind of here in the back behind the greenery. And this is probably my favorite page of the month. So Fairy Tales and Folklore. If you're interested, that group's been around for a while. I just recently joined. That was my first page completed with the group. It's Fairy Tales and Folklore coloring group on Instagram, and there's a few different admins, I believe. One of the admins is at Coloring with Cats Among Orchids, Mendy. So you can reach out to her if you'd like to join the group. They do not post the images that they complete until the last day of the month that it's due, just so that everybody can kind of be surprised and not feel, I guess, any kind of way about, you know, their creativity or colors or anything like that, if that makes sense. It kind of makes sense to me, but so that's what they do for that group. All right, and then after watching last month's completed pages on a bunch of channels, I was really itching to do some Camellia Angel Cova. So I colored a couple of in her books this month for the month of April, the first in 50 diminutive seaside scenes. And I did this one on April the 6th. And this was a lot of Ohuhu alcohol marker. And I have the Honolulu series, and then a touch of shading with Prismacolor pencil and some highlighting with a white Jelly Roll pen. This book is really cute. I haven't done a whole lot in here yet. I've done that one, and I think I've done the title page, but it's really cute, and it fit like we vacation in the Outer Banks, North Carolina, and there were a lot of pages in here that kind of reminded me of the Outer Banks, and a few that have lighthouses. So really like this book. All right, and then the other Camellia Angel Cova that I did was in my daughter's book, 50 Easter Miniatures, which we have had since last year, and she and I both colored in it. I did this one, Happy Easter, with the bird and the balloons, and this is just alcohol marker, a little tiny bit of pencil, and then some highlight with whatever white. Okay, I use Posca, I use Jelly Roll, and I use Ohuhu acrylic marker for the white, and it just depends on where I am, like which room I'm in, and what what I have near me, and then like the thickness that I'm looking for. The lettering is with the Pentel Sparkle Pop. I think I started, truth be told, with a Jelly Roll, but it pops so much more, I feel like, with the Pentel Sparkle Pop, and it was a lot easier to, I think I was having an issue with one of them getting clogged, so it was just a lot easier to use. So, happy Easter. Hope you had a great Easter. That's 50 Easter Miniatures from Camellia Angel Cova. And then Morgan O'Brien released a new book, a cookbook, coloring book for Matchstick Mouse. And this is right up my alley. I love cooking, albeit I don't do a ton of cooking in my season of life right now because we're just kind of busy, and I'm busy, but I do enjoy cooking. And so I love this book, and I got it pretty much right away once it became available in print on Amazon. And the page that I completed was this one with Matchstick Mouse and the slice of pizza. I love pizza, is one of my favorite foods. This one called to me, and I wanted to do it right away. And I love how it turned out. And I will say, when I think pizza, I think of this red and white checkered. And I knew that's what I wanted to do for the background. I don't always do a background in Matchstick Mouse, but I was wanting to here. I had no idea until I was done that actually the spine has the checkered red and white. And I was like, oh, how about that? That's cool. I did not know that. So this is this is all alcohol marker with a little bit of pencil again. Same, same really supplies. So maybe I'll just tell you going forward if something's different. This is a stencil that I think is like a 6x6 or 7x7 that I just had to move around. I taped down and moved around so we could get it across the page. And for that I used a stamping ink. I believe it's a Distress ink. Okay. And then I completed another page in Alexandra Francis's Kawaii coloring book. This is the travel size. Let me zoom out a little bit. And I did this one with the bunnies. Alcohol marker. Nothing. Just really, this one was really just color, straight color with, the usual little bit of shadowing and highlighting, but this was just straight color. And I don't know whether anyone hosted a hashtag for how many bunnies for the month of April. But if I had thought about it sooner, that would have been a good one to do. I don't know if you've been into coloring for a while in the adult coloring community. Like in the fall, there's sometimes the Meg from Meg's Coloring Corner, formerly Disney Meg, used to do a How Many Pumpkins for spooky Halloween season in the fall. And I think there were a couple other ones that were similar to that. But bunnies, how many bunnies would have made a whole lot of sense, because I ended up coloring a lot of bunnies, like intentionally would pick pages with bunnies. And so maybe at the end here, I will count up all my bunnies and we'll see how many bunnies I colored. But yeah, that would have been a fun one to do. So did one in here. Okay, and now we're getting into the square, bold and easy, cute and cozy type books. So that was all that I colored in the, I guess, quote unquote, traditional adult coloring books. And we're gonna move over to the other. All right, so in the square book category with cute, cozy, the first one I'm gonna share with you is in Colored Caramel's My Quiet Time. And I did this one with the puppy and the kitty cat. Pretty much straight colored it. Did use some of the stamp markers. You can't really tell that they're stars, but I did that on this hot pink. And then I used a dot marker to do the background. And I made one of them look like a little paw print and one of them look like a little Mickey. So that's My Quiet Time. And then Into Gardens from Cocowayo. I really like this book. It has a perfect balance for me of detail and simple. That, it varies a lot from book to book as far as, those types of things. But I did this one. It was a rainy day. It was a rainy week. The day that I colored this. That's why I chose this one. Just again, a lot of straight coloring in this book. And then I did a bunny. I wanted to do this one for the bunny, and a really simple color palette. I knew I wanted to incorporate reds for strawberry, so I wanted to stick with that and used it on the hibiscus. And there we go. It's a very cute page, very cute book. I'm enjoying coloring in there because sometimes I just want to sit down and color a page in like 15-20 minutes. All right, the next one is in Cat Moments Meow Life coloring book from Hikaru Coates. I did one in here, and I almost said it's not this one because it was a while ago, but it was this one. And I just did a simple, picked a couple different colors that I wanted to stick with in this like teal aqua range. And I really like how it turned out. It's a very cute kitty in a scene. This book is also really, really cute. I like this one a lot. Okay. Now, The rest of my pages are color by number. Okay, so everything I have left to show you is in some type of color by number or color by line. And starting with Sachin Sachdeva's pocket size cupcake sweet treats color by number. I only did one in here in April, and it was a bunny, of course. So this, I like to use water base. Actually, that's a lie. I do both. I've done probably just as many in here with alcohol marker as water based, but I like doing water based in here. It is, I think, Ohuhu water based markers and a little bit of highlighting. Also, the stars are Pentel Sparkle Pop. That one, and that's a really cute book too. Another new book that I received in the month of April, haven't hauled it yet, is this one. This is my first book from Vivi Tinta. It is Little Moments coloring book, and it is a color by line, meaning the lines are different colors, and those are suggested colors where you can either color in that color or a shade lighter if you want to give it a little bit of dimension. And this one's really, really cute. I had never done any color by line or color by color, I think as some of them were called before, but I did this one here at this is the last day of the month, and I really enjoyed coloring it. And I did a little bit of highlighting and shadow. Oh, and I did go in to make this look like a wood grain on the fence. It was a little, to give it a little something. But I enjoyed it. The only criticism I have, and this is just a personal thing, is on some of the pages, the spaces are big. Let me see if I can tell you an example. That one would be okay just because of the shape. But sometimes when there's a big space, hopefully it's not too many pages in here. I have a hard time with alcohol markers because once they start to dry, you see lines. And so you could fix that, I suppose, if you went over it with colored pencil or something, crayon maybe. And that might be what I do. But so the page that I was going to do first but didn't might have been this one. And I think it was because I was worried about the tree, because I guess you'd have to go pretty quickly to get it without streaks or lines, and I was kind of worried about it. But maybe the rest of the book is okay. It does tell you in the back of this book, it shows you what they would look like with color. But I enjoyed this. This was really cool. And I guess the cool thing about these color by line is that you don't see the number because there are no numbers. So that's pretty cool. And really you could color, if you wanted to, you could color whatever color you want to. So this was cool. And so there were several folks on YouTube who had already shared this one, either completed pages or flip throughs, and that's how I found it. So really appreciate that. I love this book. It's really cute. All right. And then I did a couple in Cozy Corner from Sachin Sachdeva. This one is the color by number version. And I'm really enjoying this one too. Another bunny with a flower shop. Used alcohol marker and did glaze on the little bunny's eyes and a little bit of white gel pen for highlights. The second page that I did, this was at the beginning of April. I did this one with the mushroom houses and the gnome. And I like how that one turned out. And I really like using alcohol marker in this one. This book is also super adorable if you've not seen it yet. Really, really cute. And the numbers are faint. I mean, you do still see the numbers after you color, unless you're using acrylic paint markers or pens, then you could probably cover up but it doesn't bother me. I really enjoy coloring in these things. So it's Cozy Corner. And then another new book for me this month. I just could not resist. There are a couple people who've already got this one. It's relatively new. I think Christina's Art Corner is where I saw it first, but I really, really like this book. Color by number, bold and high detailed, cute-tastic. It is, let me see, a Emily Clark coloring book. And as you can see, there are a number of other books that she has done. And this is, I like how this one has some like shadowing shade effects because it has the bolder lines, and then it has like really faint lines where you have to color the two different colors of the shade. A lot of different colors on this one for a color by number, but I just think that they turn out so cute. So I did two. Did this one, and I love how bright the colors are too. And then I did the one right behind that with the bridge and like the maybe sunset, sunrise. I think that's also really pretty, and the colors are just so bright and bold. I really like how that turned out. And another new to me book that's not a new book that I finally got, let me zoom out, is Color by Number Animals from Jade Summer. This is also my first Jade Summer book, if you can believe it. I did not own Vivi Tinta, and I did not own Jade Summer. Or this one, Emily Clark, is that who we said it was? Yeah, didn't own. So yeah, you know, I'm just still kind of working on my collection. I don't buy things rapidly, and I started my journey. I keep saying like a year ago, because that's like when I started doing the channel, but I've always been coloring. I just didn't know about some of these other publications, artists, illustrators, books. I just didn't know as much of that until last year. But anyway, so Color by Number Animals, and I'm counting this as a page completed. It is the first page in the book. This belongs to, because it's also numbered with the fish and the stained, they're all like stained glass. And I straight color these. I really enjoy it. They do look gorgeous on their own right, just straight colored, but you can also, I've seen gorgeous work with some shading over top with pencil, highlighting. There's like lots that you can do to jazz it up a bit. I just haven't done that. Sometimes I don't feel like doing that. And then I did this guy, the snake. Gorgeous green snake, and he turned out lovely. I really like how this one looked. Now I did do a little bit of highlighting on this one, but other than that, I just felt like it looked so good already on its own, so I left it as it was. Now this book also has a lot of different colors. It's a 48, so if that's something that you take into consideration when getting a color by number, I just wanted to let you know that. Illustrations are by Alexis Joyce for this book, and they are gorgeous. Let's see, 2023 is when this one came out, and they're very popular color by number, because it's simple, it's easy to do, I will say that, and the stuff looks great. Now I used alcohol marker on both of these. You can use whatever you want, but I enjoy using the alcohol marker. So that's Jade Summer Animals. I did one in this one again this month. It's the AJ Quinnell Eclipse Art Wonderland. I see where looks like they got a new release for Cinderella themed book. I did this one at the beginning of April because of Humpty Dumpty being an egg. So you got the egg. And I really like using Crayola Super Tips in this book. So that's what this is. Right. And this one has 24 colors. Right. Then in 100 Best Adult Coloring, or Adult Color by Numbers, which is a compilation from Sun Life Publishing that I've colored in a lot, I did one page, and it's of this bird, and it is from the book Lines, Dots, Quest, Animals, Color by Number from 2022. I used, looks like the Ohuhu water-based. These are all single-sided, you could use whatever. You could use alcohol marker in here, but that's what I used for this one. It's got the dots and lines. This book has a lot of different types of color by number from different books and different seasons. There's like stained glass. We've got some mandalas. But I enjoy coloring in this book. You would think I'd be close to completing it based on how much between my daughter and I we've colored in it, but we still have a long way to go. I think I did count in the month of April, and we are maybe close to half the pages being completed, which is still pretty good because there's 100 of them in here. And I bought it, I want to say February of last year. So that's pretty good. All right, the last are in the Disney Hatchet books. And the first is a buddy color. Let's see if I have to zoom out. Nope, I think I'm good. This lovely friend in the coloring community reached out to me on YouTube and asked if I would mind coloring in Vitro, which is the Disney stained glass from Art Therapy Hatchet Heroes. And I use random number generator to pick pages, and this was Corey Clay 4837. So hi Corey. We ended up doing page 15, which is Anna from Frozen, and I used Guangna. I enjoy using those. And I love all the different colors. There's a lot there to choose from. A lot of greens, which worked well for this page. I do have a number of sets from Thule Art and the Ohuhu 48. So I think between all of those, plus now I have the Languios, I'm like good to go for a number of the Disney books. But I don't think I used the Languio on this at all. I don't think I had to. I'm really looking forward to using those on the books that have more detail with the tiny spaces, because I know I'm really gonna want reach for those at that point. So I really enjoyed that one. Oh, I see that there's a version or Tomb 2 or Volume 2 that's coming out, and it is quite different. I'm very excited about it. I believe it has Tinkerbell on the front, and it's going to be released in August. It looks like it's going to have you do the lines, like the outline, which that's some good feedback that somebody gave to them, because I really think that that's what I struggle with in some of these pages. Is like, do you leave a line? Do you draw it in? That kind of thing. And I've done some of that. So, and then the other thing it looks like is the character is not, like it pops off the page and is not necessarily part of the stained glass. Like they're like the regular kind of coloring, and then the back is, or the background is the stained glass. At least that's what it looked like to me. There are a few pages that you can see if you go onto Lyrica.com, Lireka.com. You can see where they have this on there for pre-order, and I will definitely be getting that one. So it's Disney Vitro. And then I got two new ones. Two new books. that I colored in April once they arrived. First, Disney Princesses. This is one that I had picked out a long time ago as one that I probably wanted to get next. And I did this one of Ariel in her human form. And I love how it turned out. I love the colors. This one I used Thule art primarily and Ohuhu, I think, because I may not have had the guagna at this point when I did this page. This was April 1st, so this is the first page I did in April. Just beautiful. I love getting back into these books and doing the work in these books. And then the other one that I got for myself is Seasons, and I did two in here. I did Belle, and I love, it took me a really long time to color match this one, but it paid off beautifully because I really feel like if I had gone with a different color yellow, I was going to be disappointed because I really just wanted to do like bright yellows for both of them, but I think this matches almost perfectly and it looks really good. Used Thule art again here. I don't think I had the guagna when I did this, so this is also at the beginning of the month. And then the second one that I completed was for Easter, the Cityscape, Pluto and Mickey, and the Easter egg. And this one I did have the guagna, and that's what I used on this page primarily, with black Arteza for, yeah, this acrylic marker for the black. And I love how this one turned out. And I do think it's interesting when you look at people's completed pages to see some of the differences just because of the whatever medium that they're using and then the color shade. So I do enjoy looking at the completed pages. So that's it, the two in Seasons. Okay, so if you were counting along with me, you will note that I colored 7 bunnies, which isn't excessive, but it was just for the month of April. I think I actually colored some in March too, but that's some bunnies. It's definitely a lot of bunnies. And I definitely, you know, if I saw a page here or there, not all the books have them, but I picked out bunnies and colored them. So, and the two that I did here in the Fairy Tales and Folklore and Rita were both bunnies. So cool for that. How many bunnies did you color? So here's my totals. I did 24 pages for the month, which was actually 4 less than the month before. Not that it matters. It really doesn't matter at all. It was a good coloring month. I did 14 color by number, 14 color by number. I did 4 from the square books that were not color by number, that were the cute cozy, and then 6 regular adult coloring books. It was 19 books that I colored in total. 6 of those were new books. So they were new books and I colored them right away, which is good. I like to color in the books that I buy right away. So I hope I can keep doing that. My favorite, as I mentioned, has to be the Fairy Tales and Folklore, where I use the Derwent ink tints. I'm really enjoying that. I did the one group for that, and then one buddy color on the Disney stained glass book. And that was my April. I haven't started watching. I think I've only watched 2 or 3 videos on April completed pages. So I will enjoy watching those probably over the next week or so, because there's so many lovely people on YouTube now that are into adult coloring. It's amazing. I love it. So many different styles and techniques and just a variety of folks. And I love them all, love and appreciate them all. So I think that's really cool. I'm glad that this is just a really awesome hobby that we all can share together. I hate how I sound, by the way. Let me step back from my robotic announcing voice. I hate how I do that. I'm going to try to not do that. Sometimes I'll film and take a couple takes before I'm like, okay, Amy, you were like trying to sound put together and rehearse, to stop doing that. This is just casual conversation. So I'm trying to do better. I think it's everybody has, if you're filming, you have a natural tendency to do that. But anyway, I have 2 whips that I wanted to mention. I'm not going to share them, but wanted to tell you about them. So I started a Kirby page in Worlds Within Worlds. It is gorgeous. It is coming along beautifully. It is following Karen at My Colorful Country Life, a video from like 4 years ago where she did the entire book. She has a ton of color alongs on her channel, and she's currently doing some special things with Dark Fairy Tales. Looks amazing, and that's Prismacolor. And then, so I've been working on that and hope to get back to that. I keep getting distracted by so many other things. And then I have a whip I received for Easter, the official Wicked coloring book from the theatrical movie release. And I do like that book. There's a lot of detail, but I'm doing the title page, which has poppies around the border. And I used a bunch of stamp ink, and then I'm basing all the poppies in Derwent ink tints, and I really enjoy that whole process of using the ink tints. So I've got that going on, and hopefully we'll continue to work on that in the month of May and get that wrapped up, because it's really pretty and I'm enjoying working in there. I think those are my 2 main whips. So today is May the 3rd. We have Mermaid in the month of May, which I don't have a lot of mermaid specific books. And I don't know that I'm going to get any. I may do a PDF, may do that. I have some pages, not many, that I have found across my collection of over 150 books. I do have some color by number ones. So hopefully you can do a few mermaids, and you could always do Ariel in mermaid form. So I've got some Ariel I can do. Tomorrow is Star Wars Day. So starting today, this evening, this afternoon, and all day tomorrow, I will be coloring in my Star Wars books, and I'm pretty excited about that. We continue to have spring going on, and I also am aware that we are halfway to Halloween, and I am a Halloween girly, and I love coloring Halloween all year long. So I'm going to be filming also either today or tomorrow a halfway to Halloween. I'm going to participate in one of those tags, and going to color in like a spooky Halloween book while I'm doing it. So I'm excited to do that for halfway to Halloween. We also have Cinco de Mayo coming up. There's a bunch of stuff. You got Derby Day. Today's Derby Day, Kentucky Derby. So I will probably be enjoying a mint julep here in a little while, watching the race. But just a lot of fun things. And there's a ton of hashtags out there. You know, if you feel so inclined to participate. I'm also going to be doing some, I don't know what I was going to say. I was thinking about other color alongs, but there are a ton of them out there. I'm going to try to do like old coloring books that are untouched, because I filmed my untouched collection, which is less than 20 books. But I do want to color in them, and I might do some older books. Some of the books that I've purchased just within the past year, I want to color in those. I am now to the point, like many of you, where I just have more books than I can color in, and then I get so excited about new books that I have to have and color in those, and you know, we will not be bored and not be running out of things to color. I don't imagine, but so many things to color, so little time. But thanks for joining me today on the completed pages for the month of April. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you like what you saw and you aren't currently a subscriber, hop on over and subscribe, leave a friendly comment. Comments are always appreciated, and constructive criticism as well. I don't want to make it sound like I don't, only want good comments. I mean, if you've got some constructive criticism when stated in a a nice way, professional way, I mean, that's okay too. I'm okay with that as well. So take care, everyone. Have a lovely coloring month for the month of May, and I will see you real soon, as Mickey likes to say. See you real soon. Bye-bye.